channel. Today's video is going to be all about what I think are some of the best 5 orchids that you should have in your collection. So I've been growing orchids for about 8 years now, and I started out with a phalaenopsis, just like everyone else, something like this. But I expanded and I have over 200 now, so I narrowed down that list on what I think are some of the 5 must-have orchids. For me, I've always liked compact orchids. I've always liked orchids with fragrance, orchids that were easy to grow, orchids that are vigorous, that bloom often. So I'm going to share my top 5 picks on orchids that I think belong in a newer grower's collection. If you don't have them, I highly recommend them. All of these orchids are pretty easy to find, and they're pretty easy to grow as well. So let me know down in the comments which one of these you guys don't have in your collection, as these are pretty common, and let me know if you have any recommendations down below as well to help out any other new growers. So let's jump right in. So I actually recorded this and it didn't go through, so I'm doing a quick little voiceover. But the first orchid that I recommend for beginners is an Oncidium Shari Baby type. This one is the Oncidium Heaven Sent Sweet Baby. It has 2 spikes on it, and I highly recommend it because I find it to be very easy to grow. Not only that, but it is also a fragrant orchid. So a lot of folks say it smells like chocolate. Some folks say it smells like vanilla. But I find it to be very easy. This one I just grow in moss. I keep it, I water it as it's approaching dryness. So I try to keep it moist as much as possible, and it just gives me blooms all the time. Now the blooms aren't that spectacular when you compare to some cattleyas and some other orchids, but what it has that really makes it stand out is that wonderful fragrance. It's also really vigorous, so I got to divide this up soon, and I just find it extremely easy to grow. So there's Shari Baby. This one's the Oncidium Heaven Sent Sweet Baby. I will link a video for you guys where I go through all the different types of Shari Baby orchids, but all of them are quite easy to grow and they are very vigorous. And I think if you have one in your collection, you'll really enjoy it. The next orchid that I recommend is the Paphiopedilum Pinocchio. Mine is not in bloom right now, but I wanted to show you because it's been blooming sequentially for me for about a year now. So it started blooming last April, and it's given me ever since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 flowers. It's working on 9 and 10 down here. So this one I got from Carter and Holmes. This one I highly recommend because it will keep blooming for you and it'll keep things interesting in the collection. Paphiopedilums are not super hard to take care of. I actually have this in the original pot that it came with, and I topped it off with a little bit of moss. It is starting to push out some additional fans, so it's going to be growing even further. It started off with just 1 fan, but it fans out from the bottom, so one day this is going to have multiple spikes. My biggest mistake with this one is that I didn't train the growth upright, so it hangs down, which is okay, but the flower is really, really cute, and it just constantly blooms. So as you can see the buds here, you have one there, and you see the other bud coming in the back. This is a machine. It does not stop. Just to have a new flower virtually like every 6 weeks, I think is amazing. So if you're new to growing orchids, I think the Paphiopedilum Pinocchio is a good one. I don't have a ton of Paphiopedilums, but if you can get one that blooms sequentially, I think you will be rewarded by seeing these beautiful blooms all the time. Next, I don't have this one in bloom right now, but I mentioned it in one of my other videos, but a summer blooming Phalaenopsis is one that I highly recommend, so especially if you're coming from complex Phalaenopsis orchids. If you go to summer blooming phals, and 2 that I'm thinking of are the Phalaenopsis violacea, which is a very beautiful purple, bluish type flower. It smells like kind of like cinnamon. It's beautiful. It's very easy to grow. It's pretty easy to find as well. That one is a good one. Or the Phalaenopsis bellina, which has a very strong lemon scent. Those are nice. They differ from Phalaenopsis orchids in that they have multiple spikes for one, so that's nice. They bloom in the summer typically and throughout the warmer months, which is nice when you have other phals. And the biggest draw to these two are that they are fragrant. So if you are looking for another orchid, check out your summer blooming Phalaenopsis type orchids. My two favorites, Phalaenopsis violacea and Phalaenopsis bellina. Highly recommend them. The scent is intoxicating. I think you'll love it. And if you don't have one, pick one of them up. Pick both of them up. They are amazing and so worth it. So I think everyone needs a cattleya in their collection, but not just any kind of cattleya. I think we should all have a very complex cattleya, one that blooms often. So this one is my Brasileia cattleya Yuko Ito Volcano Queen, I believe. I'll put the name down below. This is one of the Hawaiian hybrids. It blooms for me off of every single growth. So I find that a lot of the orchids from Hawaii, Carmela orchids or Akatsuka orchids, to name a few, they're hybrids, they're very complex, and I find them to be very vigorous. So I think if you're starting out, everybody should have a cattleya. They require a little more light than Phalaenopsis orchids, well, a lot more light than Phalaenopsis orchids, but they are highly fragrant. The vigorous ones are a must. A couple of vigorous cattleyas in my collection include the Brasileia Cattleya Powella Spots. That one, I believe, is a Richard Mueller cross. Anything with Richard Mueller in it tends to be very vigorous. My Patinera Hawaiian Charisma Hawaii is another one that I got from Carmela Orchids that is extremely vigorous. It's one of those Hawaiian hybrids. My Patinera Jerry Refield Paradise Fuchsia is another one that's very vigorous. But try to look up the, check out Akatsuka orchids. They don't pay me to say any of this. I'm just a fan, and I find that their orchids are very vigorous. This one is from Akatsuka. Check out their hybrids. They're very complex hybrids. So typically that means that they have a lot of vigor and they can bloom a lot. This one tends to bloom from every growth. If you have an orchid when you're starting out that blooms for you a lot, you're going to enjoy the hobby more. I have some species, like I have a Brassivola, a Rhyncholalia digbyana, I have a Glauca, I have a Valkyriana. I've got a couple of species that are not going to bloom for me very often. I have primary hybrids. They just sit in my shelf for a year before I get blooms, and they don't bloom. So get yourself a complex hybrid. You're going to be very happy, and this will allow you to expand and get some of the other species without getting bored. So last but certainly not least, I really like Brassivola types, especially those that are nighttime fragrant. My two favorites are the Brassivola Little Stars. So I showed this in my Compact Cattleya Orchid video. I think this is a really good one to have. You could pick this one or the Brassivola Jiminy Cricket. So both of them have a very intense fragrance at night. I'd go ahead and say that the Jiminy Cricket seems to bloom more for me, so I gravitate more towards that one, but this one is amazing as well. They don't bloom as much as a complex Cattleya orchid, but they're worth it because they have that very strong, beautiful nighttime fragrance. And the flowers are pretty cute too. They're small, but it's all about the fragrance. The Jiminy Cricket flower though is nice and big, and the fragrance is just really, really strong. So I recommend those because a lot of orchids, they don't have fragrance at night, with the exception of these. And also like a Neophonetia falcata type, I was caught up between choosing the Neophonetia falcata or the Brassivola types. I wanted to pick one. I find these to be just a smidgen easier to grow. They could handle a lot of neglect. So I more gravitate towards the Brassivola types. They kind of look like this. I've gone weeks without watering this and it's okay. Neophonetia falcata, they could handle neglect pretty well, but I think this is better in terms of vigor, so that's why I picked this one. But if you add it to your collection, something like this or the Jiminy Cricket, I think you're really gonna love it. So those were my top 5. Am I missing anything? Let me know down below. Leave me a comment and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.